This is going to be a bit of a minefield, I reckon. Here, this is a controller, and that'll be a controller in the wiring loom. It is. And you know what? I'm actually really worried about this because I've spent nearly 400 quid on this and the battery. I'll cost it all up as we go along, and I'll go into the detail and everything. And yeah, gotta admit I am worried because I have no knowledge about welding or engineering or anything like that, so it might be a case of maybe that I'm going to have to buy some box steel and maybe look for a welder on Google or something. Let's see what we're dealing with. Let me get me other wheel, which is over here. Now, I did have a look at the dimensions on Amazon in regards to the width of the wheel, so it's not too far off what I need. So we shall see what I can do. It's not an impossible task, it can be done, but like I say, I'm a little bit worried. I'm less worried about wiring up because I've got a basic knowledge of wiring stuff up, and after all, there's a diagram with it, or at least I'm hoping there's a diagram with it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this blown up just to see if it holds the air, because if it doesn't, I'll be sending it back, so I'll get that done first. Right, 24 psi to seat the tyre, so I'll do that there now. Something wrong with that. That isn't blowing up. Let me try it again. No, something wrong there already. Oh dear. Let's have a look. That isn't working, so tubeless nylon. Right, okay, I'm wondering if there's air leaking around here and it's not seating. Right, maybe I need to leave it longer. Let's give it another go. Right, we've got it seating now. I basically just had to keep moving it with my hands to get it to seat. You have to go up to 24 psi for it to seat basically, and then you operate it at 15 psi, so let's get it up to 24. There we go. This is just chaos. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these off here by undoing these, and then I'm gonna just play it by ear basically and try and wing it. Gonna get the Barrow, see what we're dealing with. Oh, look at it, it's right at the back. Nightmare. This is going to be a big indication to how much work's involved with getting this wheel to fit. Let's go and put this upside down. We'll see what we're dealing with. Right, There we go. I'm going to get a tape measure. That is 19 centimetres. Oh, you're going to need for that. Come in. First time guess. As usual. Is that coming undone? It's just spinning, isn't it? That's why I need one on that side as well. I should have known. There we go. There we go. Now I remember how that went. Right, that makes it interesting. Right, let's get the wheel and try these. See how far out we are. Still not got a clue what I'm doing. Right. I've got a feeling I'm going to be way out. They're not going to be able to go on there. I can see that straight away. So there we go. Look, first problem. They're not going on there. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to either cut these off and weld another piece of metal on there for them to slot down that way. Yeah. Now, do I get rid of these and order some new box steel? Or do I see if I can use these? Might be a case of cutting that off there and then putting another piece of metal on the bottom here. Oh, this is a minefield. So I'm guessing that I'm going to want the fork strut. That's the right word. About 25mm, which will take it to just there. So I've got two washers there. Need to be. See, I'd rather have it too far to the right, because that way if I needed to I could just bulk it out with another washer. I've really not got a clue what I'm doing. Right, so we're gonna need space for so that's got the measurement of this somewhere. It's on the phone on Amazon. Right, so that bolt is 35mm long from there to there. So we'll just check that. Take those off. That should be. There we go, 35mm. So how do I work that out? Now I need to know the thickness of the steel that I'm going to get welded onto here. So that will sit there, steel will sit there, and it'll slot into there. Yeah, so okay, so the distance of my stanchions, or the support on there, was 20 mil. Check that out. Right. So, oh, I'm asking for trouble doing it like this, aren't I? I need my maths head on and I haven't got one. It's going to be 19, isn't it? Surely. That's 20. Oh God, my brain isn't working. Right, so that's 21, 19, dead centre. Right. I don't really need to open this to do anything with it. I'm just basically checking that everything's there. See if I can get that out without pulling anything. There we go. That is so hot. It's been out in the sun. I hope this works, guys. I hope I haven't made a mistake buying all this stuff. 24 volts, 350 watts. Oh God, that is so plasticky and cheap. Forward, reverse, oh my word. That is shocking. But if it works, it works. Right. What's this? Right. Wow. Don't know what to say about this. That's got to be the main power source to the motor, because those wires are substantial. Yeah. Right. Everything's there, so let's put it away. So I'm going to use this to support the wheels. Look at this. You can have a good laugh at this. Look how messy that is. But it's just to test it. So I'm going to get on with it now. Crossing my fingers. I'm going to have a look at a couple of sites on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel actually that I can't remember his name, but I did message him and he's offered a lot of help. So I'm going to have a look at his video and see what he's saying about these. But pretty sure these are the power one. These are quite easy actually. Good indication is they're thicker, so they're going to deliver all the power to the wheel. So another indication is the fact that these are bullet connectors, and from, if my memory serves me right, there's only 3 other female bullet connectors. So I'll get on there, have a look and see how we go. 24 volt battery is there, it's on charge. and I know it's at least 90% already because I've just put the multimeter on it. So I reckon that'll only take another, well, I'm only guessing, probably 30 minutes at the most, I would imagine. So this self-faster kit from Amazon all comes labelled up. It's virtually plug and play. You really can't get this bit wrong. It's simply a case of matching the labelled wires with the matching shaped plugs. So yeah, that's why I haven't gone into too much detail. Right, I'm going to leave this here and nip over to B&Q for a few bits and bobs. Look at that! Superb! Oh, I love that! See here, I've cut the original connectors off here that came with the battery. They were cheap things. I didn't like them at all, so chopped those off. I'm going to put the XT60 connectors on, and I'm also going to put two large cable ties around this battery, one there and one about here. So should I pull on this wire, it's not going to do any damage, because obviously this is connected directly to the battery there, so I don't want to be pulling on that. Just got back from the range on the way home from work. Bought these bolts that I'm going to need for the forks, 8mm, sorry 810 by 40mm. Got myself some solder and a fuse holder. Also got some XT connectors with the little housing on the bottom, but they don't fit in there. Whether I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. But I took a photo and contacted the eBay seller. But if you look at that, when I wire them up, that won't click into there, and that's flat, completely flat there. There should be like almost like a little protruding piece on there. So I think they've supplied me with the wrong ones, but we'll soon find out. And also got some bits of heat shrink tube in there, come in handy. Now what I need to do is I need to find the joiners or connectors, whatever you call them. Put a piece of wire in the one side, wire in the other side, and you crimp them together. So I need to find out where they are. Yeah, fantastic. Right, getting everything together now. I've got to admit, my head is all over the shop. I seemed to have a plan, but now I just don't know what I'm doing. My head's all, it's just, I'm just everywhere. But it will come together. I just need time to just take myself away from it, switch off for a bit, and then maybe jot another, do another sketch. I've done a drawing for the forks, or the fork bracket. I'll show you that in a minute if I can manage to save that as a JPEG and upload it, or a PNG, and then I'll attach that to the video somehow. But it's a free version of this design app that I've got, so it might be very limited in terms of file options, let's say. But yeah, I'm getting there in terms of getting everything together. You can see my battery's there. So yeah, time to get on the Facebook group, I think, and find out what fuse I'm going to need for this. Got my brackets, these turned up today. They're going to need rubbing down. I've got big concerns that I'm not going to be able to cut in a straight line, so I'm going to have to be really careful with that. Yeah, this is stainless steel, 40mm wide, 5mm thick, and 125 long. Should do the job. I've been told it'll do the job by quite a few people that seem to know what they're talking about. That comes off, and I have to take that off and shift all this rubbish, and then I can get the G-clamp on it and get working on the metal brackets, get them drawn up, filed down, and hopefully then I can get hold of a metal cutting disc and start the bit that I'm really worried about. Right, this is where I'm lost. I want to get these lines at the correct angle, so I'm right in thinking that straight line there, I need a 90-degree angle, don't I? So let me get this line correct first, the one that goes that way. So I've got a metal and just hoping that's straight. That's the problem. Is that straight line? There's got to be a way of telling whether that's straight. So this here, that hole there, I'm guessing. Right, so as long as these match up, that line and that line, and there's no space between, I'm guessing that's proper 90-degree angle there. Right, so I think I want the space there, this recess, I think I want that at 25mm. He says should be right there. That seems to be plenty, because the axle that's dropping in there is 10mm in width, and then I've got to take the nut into consideration that's going on top. I'm going to get that nut, that's what I'm going to do. We set 25mm, didn't we? Oh, okay, that's more than enough. In fact, I might come down to 20mm, because the more I cut out of this, the more I'm weakening this bar. So should I go 15mm? What am I missing, guys? What am I missing? Or should I go 20? I'm going to go 20. $20mm deep. No. I'll go 25 right there. That'll come across. Once the axle's sitting against it, it's going to move it 5mm that way to my left. That's right, isn't it? So 20. Sit there, be there. If it's 20mm, we'll sit there. Is that too much? 20mm. Sit there. I'm going to go 25mm. Yeah, 25mm. The axle will sit on it, and it'll take it 5mm that way to 20mm. Yeah, I'm going to go that. I'm going to play it safe, because I don't want that nut overhang. Excuse me. I don't want that nut overhanging that bar there. So yeah, I'm going to go 25mm. Right, need to measure that now, find a way of doing it. Okay. Right. That's my first line. Why is it so stressful cutting one line? I think the reason I'm worried about getting this so accurate, and some of you will probably be laughing and thinking, oh, that's not accurate, mate, but I'm worried about the barrow tracking to the left or the right. So, and I know there's going to be other factors that come into play, so I'm going to have to line it up correctly, the right distances on the forks as well. But yeah, it's not all about aesthetics. I don't want it to pull too much to left or right. Like I say, I know I'm not going to get it perfect. I know it probably will drift off one way or the other, but the better I can get it, then the happier I'll be. I'm happy with those. Right, I've got these right. They are pretty much bang on. Now, I know this isn't the most accurate way of measuring, but generally, if they look good to your eye and you cross-reference that with this, then I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. What I did was, to get these straight, I measured from there to there. Right, so it's a case of being brave now, and I'm going to have to get myself a metal cutting disc. Right, next thing I need to work out is where I put the holes, the 8mm holes for the bolts. Obviously want them in the middle from that way to that way, but I don't want them too far apart. Thinking I want one fairly close to these, to the forks. So I don't know whether to go one there and one sort of here, or do I go a little bit closer? Right. I might put one around here and one around there, but I'll measure that up so I can get them both exactly the same. Right, I'm going to go one at 50 and one at 100. Don't know whether this is the done thing. I haven't got any proper oil, so I'm going to use this to try and keep the heat down as I'm drilling, and I'm starting off with a 2.5mm drill bit. So start off with a small one and then I'll get bigger. I've got the wood behind it there, so let's go. So this drill isn't touching that. It's barely got a pit in it there. Just feel it just there. It's just sitting in there. So I need to find out what I'm doing wrong. Right, I've just popped into Screwfix on the way back from work. We're on day 4 now, I think. And yeah, been in. I've got this DeWalt drill bit, 8mm. Cost me £8.50 something, I think it was. But apparently this will do the job. DeWalt Extreme. Yeah, try that. And while I was there, I got some black cable ties as well. That'll be ideal. Right, let's go and try this and see if this will do the job. I'm going to try them on this bench in the garage, and yeah, wish me luck. Right, you can see there straight away that's taking, you can hear it. Before it was just basically slipping, the drill bit was just slipping on the top, wasn't penetrating it at all. So this is better. I have just put a little bit of WD-40 on that off cam, so I'll go again and put a bit more on. stop that heat build up. Wow, done it.
Well, jobs are good, and thanks to my mate Jeff, who advised me to get a coal bolt tipped drill bit. But he's an engineer that works with metals day in, day out, so he knows what he's talking about.
Get that down there. Right, I've got my gloves on, I've got safety goggles or glasses, and now I'm going to show you that I've made a right bloody ash of it. Look what's happened. I marked up this, okay, and the drill has drifted off to this side by a couple of mil, I'd say. So I've ballsed it up. I can only think now that having this slightly off centre, that I'm guessing the tracking will be out and the wheelbarrow will drift off all sorts of, it'll either go left or right, won't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue. I'm going to have to bring this line over a touch, this one here, and yeah, so it's going to knock these forks out. That one's going to be thicker than this one, so really not happy at all, but I'm going to go ahead with it anyway and see how it turns out, and what will be. And if it's that bad in the end and the wheelbarrow does track, I'll have to see if there's a way of adjusting it. If not, I'm going to go on to a Facebook group that I've joined. I'll put it at the top of the screen. I can't remember what it's called, but great bunch of lads, really helpful. I'll go on there and there's a guy selling these brackets already done, so that's what I'm going to do. Well, I'm hoping this is going to work. Alright, I'm going for it. That's not a bad job. I know it's not perfect, but I'm quite happy with that. You know, I'm no engineer. I knew I wasn't going to get it perfect, but yeah, that's okay. Hopefully it'll do a job. I think it'll do a job in terms of it'll hold everything, but I've just got a sneaky feeling that Barrow is going to pull one way or the other, but we shall see. So yeah, just got to file this down now because I can feel the burrs under there on these gloves, and yeah, let's see how I can tidy it up. I forgot I had this multi-tool, and found this. This should be perfect to get into those forks, just to smooth it off a touch. Just gonna have a look at the repercussions if I cut these off there. I need to measure that because the forks are gonna come up to here, so I don't think that's going to be a problem, you know. Let's turn these around. Turn them around like that. Just put that. We'll bring that down. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do. The bag sits at an angle anyway, so yeah, I'm going to cut those off. That'll be up there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut these off Let me just show you. I'm going to cut these off here just after this tubing. I need to measure it all up, make sure I do a better job of measuring than I did of the forks. I'm going to try and retrieve this black stopper as well. See if I can put that in there once I've cut it. So I need to get this angle right. I'm going to go that way, that's better. I've just lined this up with the other one, 4.2. Used a square to go around there. So, right, let's get them cut. That's not bad at all. I didn't expect to get it that good. That's not bad at all. I expected, as I was cutting round, for the lines to be out slightly, but look at that. I'm happy with that. Very happy. Just need to file that off now, and then and you know what, I'm going to put that back on as well before I lose it. So just need to get this out the end. It should be relatively easy. Oh, he says. Ah, okay. Might be able to prise it out. I thought I was. Ah, yeah, look, there's a gap there. I'll get that out. So, once the forks are on, gonna sit in there. Should sit in there a treat. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting these on now. Getting there slowly but surely. Bit of burr on there, I need to get rid of that. But I've just found, I knew I had them somewhere, spare parts from Carp Porter, so I can pop these in there. They'll fit in there, I think. Wondering if it's worth me spraying these up or putting something on them. I don't think I've got any wax. Yeah. I'll put a bit of WD-40 on there. I don't think it'll do a lot, but I'll do that and then pop these on. If nothing else, it will make those easier to pop in. Pop that on there. To measure these up. Right, I've marked up this. Just need to get drilling. Make sure I get that spot on. Bloody hell, I'm shaking. Don't know whether I'm doing the right thing here, but I'm not putting washers this side. I'm only going to put them that side. Oh, I think that's right. Okay, so I've just put the bolts through there. I do apologise, I forgot to film that bit. Right, so that's the one done. Now for the other one, tighten that up. Right, here goes. Get this wheel on and then see where we're at Right, so nearly there in terms of this end. Just need to put some cable ties around here, but yeah, so far so good. It's not perfect, but I know it's hard to tell now, but the wheel does seem like it's fairly in line. Let me put it like that. This is the important one here. I don't want that pulling, so I need to put that spring back in there. Need to have that coming out that way, I think. So I'm pushing that up, so there's no stress on that cable from there. So put that on quite tight. I'll pull that tight with some pliers, I think. And let go around the back there. I think I might do that as well. So I'm going to pull that tight with pliers, and then I'm going to snip these off, and then I'm going to call it a day. It's knocking on now. It's about 7:45, I think, and I'm starving. I've just had my head in this for the last 6 or 7 hours since I got home from work. But yeah, I do apologise if I've missed bits out, but I've just been wrapped up in it. I just really want I want to get it done because I'm quite excited, to be honest. I'm excited to just get the 2 back wheels on and just get it up and running. I just want to get some stuff in it and take it up and down the garden. Yeah, so right, that's me done for today. Need to find the best place for this. Just been having a mess around and come to the conclusion that this is going to be the most comfortable place. It's no good down there because that's going to be too far away. I could have it there and use my finger to push it down, but that'd be uncomfortable. So I'm pretty sure that's the best place for it. Just about get access to the button there, okay. Go a little bit further away maybe.
Guys, I'm going to do something I don't usually do, simply because my channel seems to have hit a brick wall. So here goes. Would you please subscribe to my channel? It would help me out massively. It will hopefully kickstart things again, and you can always unsubscribe in the future should my content not be your cup of tea. Thanks guys.
That's the best place for it there. So just going to mark that up right in the middle. There we go, a little black mark there. So I'm going to drill that 6mm drill bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight through there with a 6mm bolt, but it's going to be a long bolt, and then the pipe will come just proud of this with the bolt coming through, and then on here I'm going to put a 25mm washer and put a nut on this side. That'll hold it down. And that is an idea of someone, again, on the Facebook group I was telling you about. So guys, that is an invaluable site to join up with if you're considering doing your own barrow. Fantastic. So I found this. It's something that electricians use to put on top of, I think, pattress boxes, I think. But it's ideal. 20mm alloy, I think. But yeah, so that will slot into there, hopefully. Oh, nice snug fit. And then where I drilled the hole, let me think, see if I can remember how I had it. Oh, that was it. So I'll put a bolt through there now from the underside, and let me just do that now. So thread that bolt through, then we'll pop that washer on the top, the little one on the top there, pop the nut on. That is the most comfortable position. So now what I'm going to do is tighten up this little grub screw. Now it's just a case of me tightening this bolt up, and now I'm just going to chop that off. So it's just about tidying this up now, putting the cable where I think it needs to be. So that's probably best if I don't put it down here, because it could get trapped there. So probably end up going down the top there. So same on the other side, but this is the reverse and the gear switch. That's that done, nearly there. Right, so what I'm going to do is, these cables here aren't needed, so I've put them out of the way, and I've just put little cable tie. Well, I've put 3 cable ties on there just to keep them out of the way. The rest obviously I do need, and I'm thinking of condensing all these wires down to two 12 pin sockets, and I'm looking at I think they're called Deutsch connectors. I'm looking at those. Everybody on the Facebook group really rates them. Waterproof, solid and well made, so I might go with those to make everything a lot easier when I get to my destination. So that way I've just got that one to hook up to the battery, and I'll have 2 Deutsch connectors. So I bought this. It's let me just have a look. It's a Gorilla camo tape, and there you go. Thought it'd be ideal to protect these, because I don't want to be pulling these cables. So I'm going to wrap it around the battery, and that should offer a decent amount of protection. There we go. One camo, 24 volts, 20 amp hour battery. There's the charging port. I'll have a 15 amp fuse in there, but I might need to put a bigger one in. I'll put a smaller one in to start with, and I've got an XT90 socket on there. Obviously the female end always goes on the power side, so the battery side. 28.1, that's great. Okay, so I ordered some of these Deutsch connectors, I think they're called, off Amazon. I think they were $12.99 each. Now these are the pre-wired sort. So what I've done is, because there's a limited amount of colours on here, I've done a couple of labels. So I've got a green label on there and a blue label on that one, and same this side. Obviously I've matched them up. Green is top left, on this one top left, so I've matched all those. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what they call the Hall sensors, HALL, and this is this socket here, which has got 5 pins. So I'm going to snip that, and I'm going to join these wires, and then I'll film me joining the wires the other side, so this side to the actual wheel cables. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, and these cables here, these three, these are the phase cables. Now these are thicker, obviously for a reason, they carry more current, so I don't want to use these 18 American wire gauge. I'm not sure what that equates to, but I know for sure it won't carry enough power for the wheel without getting hot. So I'm going to find another solution, hopefully get a 3-pin socket that will take the amount of current needed for these. So there's the battery, got a 20 amp inline fuse in there. I swapped to an XT90 connector simply because it was easier to wire up, and then all I've done is gone on Amazon. I bought this, I think this was £8. I could be wrong, but like I said earlier, I'll cost everything up, put it on the screen. So yeah, got the controller there. I'll just pop that inside, and all I'll do is zip that up, and there we go. I'm all ready to go. Just going to tidy this up. I'm going to put some webbing on that, but yeah, all ready to go. Put plenty of cable ties on because this is going to move around, so I'll put a load of cable ties on this. I don't want anything to pull on the circuit board inside this controller. Yeah guys, I'm chuffed. It's all done. It was very frustrating at times, you know, one thing and another. I think the most frustrating thing for me was getting hold of some of the parts, and yeah, it's just one of those. And when you want to buy things like bolts, washers, nuts, things like that, you find you've got to buy a big pack when you know you're not going to use them again. Well, I do anyway. But yeah, in a nutshell, I guess I'd sum it up by saying I've stumbled over the over the finishing line, because it's not perfect. It's functional, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I would have liked to have got it a little bit tidier in terms of the wiring looms and everything else, and ideally I would have liked to have also
crimped my own Deutsch connectors as well, but you know what, I think I was just being a little bit lazy. I thought, oh, I'm just going to order the pre-wired ones, and I'm glad I did in the end. Yeah, I've also had to buy a few tools as well along the way, that I probably won't use again for a while. And yeah, in a nutshell, I think that probably one of the best calls I made was to get the battery, the more powerful lithium. I think it's a lithium ion, but I could be wrong. It could be lithium polymer, but I'll put that on the screen anyway. But yeah, 20 amp hours, that will enable me to go away for days on end with the missus in the caravan and not worry about charging it once. So yeah, I'm really chuffed that I decided to do that, and it was quite expensive at £170, but well worth it, I reckon. But yeah, if you want any advice, I'm no expert, but I'll try and help you where I can, and I know I've probably missed a few things off this video, so I do apologise if that's the case, but I will try and help you out where I can, even if, like I say, even if I've just said I did stumble over the finishing line. But I would highly recommend, for the best advice, is to go to that Facebook group that I mentioned earlier. So they've been fantastic, really good bunch of lads on there, really helpful. So yeah, oh, and I would like to say a big thank you to those that have helped me on there, by the way. So yeah, we're all done. Thanks for watching, see you soon.